Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Thrifty Business. I'm your one host, Jason Thrifts, and my other two hosts are Becky and her hair. How are you, Beck?
It's really great to be here.
Good to see you, dear.
You too.
Yeah, I think people would be let down if you were a co-host on Sunday and your hair was tame.
I said, like, who's that girl? Her hair's so normal.
That's what I said. You posted a picture the other day. I said, is that girl standing in front of you? Because that girl's hair is normal. All right, let's get right to introducing our guest because we got I'm very tickled with my mug choice. So here we go. Now it's time for Jay's Tiki Talk. Each week I drink a different rum out of a different tiki mug and try and match it up to my guest. Hey, our guest tonight is Elizabeth Chaney. How are you, Elizabeth?
All right, surviving this mini heat wave out here, but okay.
Yeah. All right, so I'm so excited because we're talking about a brand new, to most of us, brand new website to sell on called Thrilling. And Elizabeth has been selling on Thrilling, and we're going to talk about that, obviously, coming up. But first off, what is your day job?
Okay, so I am a dietetic technician registered, which most people don't know what that is. So the best way to explain it is the equivalent of a LVN to an RN for a dietitian. So
where do you do that?
Naval Medical Center, San Diego.
All right. So I decided to bust out some Navy rum, and I apparently need a new bottle because I just finished it. So nice. Navy rum for sure. And here's my mug to match with you. Now you're going to be like, why is that match with me? So I thought, silly me, when you need to go to eBay, you go to ebay.com. When you need to go to Amazon, you go to amazon.com. So I went to thrilling.com and I did not see this, but I did see this porn site. So thrilling.com is a porn site. So for all you who want to follow along, do not go to thrilling.com or you'll look like this. Go to shopthrilling.com to see. I'm like, why would they not have locked that up? Like, how in the world, how many people must go to that porn site every day? Because why wouldn't you? So, yeah, I mean, if you're looking for porn, thrilling.com. If you're looking for selling vintage clothes, shopthrilling.com. And this is a Southern California mug. This is from Ventiki up in Ventura.
It's cute.
What you got tonight, Becky? Anything fun besides your hair?
I'm drinking my AHA orange plus grapefruit. I'm living on the edge today. This Sunday.
You sure are.
Yeah.
What do you got, Elizabeth?
Oh, I just have some Cabernet.
All right. Well, cheers. Yeah. Cheers. I'll drink my Navy Strength. This is a tricky mug without a straw. Very beaker-esque.
Yes, I love that mug.
All right. Brian wants to know how the porn site was. Not that I wouldn't look at a porn site, but I moved on because I had to research what I was actually talking about.
Vintage clothes? They don't even have clothes.
I know. That's not vintage. That's a brand new bra. All right, Elizabeth, sit back, relax. Becky and I are going to do our segments, and we'll see a little bit, and we'll see what selling is like on Thrilling. Woohoo! Oops, wrong removal. Nope, not Becky.
Are you sure?
I vetted that tiki event yesterday. I'm a little tired, and it shows. I'm just pushing buttons. I don't know what's happening right now.
How much rum is in that cup?
Not much. Unfortunately, I didn't have a lot left. And now it's time for our scores of the week. These are the items that you should be on the lookout for when you're out thrifting. Woohoo! Trolls. Speaking of trolls, we were talking about your troll hair. Speaking of trolls.
Wait. How's my hair?
Yeah.
There we go. Did you do the little pencil thing and just shake my head? So I found this in a stash. This woman's parents had one had passed, I think, and then one was going into assisted living, but she was a crafter and she had tons of fabric, and I picked this swatch up. I can't remember how many yards it was, but I took a best offer just the other day for $11.99, and it sold pretty quick. So
Very cute too.
Yes. And talk about profit. There's a Warhammer store actually here in Austin, and I took they took these games up there, and he said they look pretty complete. So if you sell them together and start your auction at $80. And so I did, and it sold for $80. And I didn't have to, they were free to me. So because actually the bigger game is where the guy stored some of his porn. So I found the porn stash. So that meant I'm like, I win the prize. So I got them for free. So that was also free.
Jeez, I got a source like you.
Well, do Carl Rose makeup and you might get a present for Christmas. I was gifted this candle and I love the way it smells, but I just don't burn candles like I used to. I do Scentsy now. And so this has just been sitting around, and I thought, let's see what the comps are. And I listed it for 54. I always list a little bit higher for room for negotiation. So we went back and forth a little bit, and I accepted her offer of 45, and I sent it out after I got home from my birthday bash.
Nice.
The same thing again. I worked in estate sale, and I know to grab those Christmas kits, and I got 3 or 4 of them, and now they've all sold before Christmas. And this one, I took a best offer of $20 on it and sent it out.
Nice job. All right, I'm going to do mostly clothes today, and with a couple little bonus tips. When you have a kick-ass vintage shirt like this and have a black background with a black mannequin, it's almost like the shirt's just floating there. And so that's where I know we're supposed to have white backgrounds, blah, 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 blah. But the white background on this this didn't look good. But on this black, oh, man, it was popping.
Yeah, that was a good choice.
And then the other tip is, what in the heck? We didn't have the pic. Oh, there it is. I said we didn't have a picture of the tag. Don't forget, when you sell vintage pennies before they were JC pennies, there are 2 E's in pennies. So many people miss that second E. So when you list vintage penny stuff, make sure you get both E's. All right. And this is the bonus tip to this Parts of the Caribbean Disneyland shirt. 2 things. Perfect example when to use a pic collage, because there's stuff on the chest right here, there's stuff on the back, there's stuff on the sleeve. Boom. First picture shows all of that. That way your customer knows right out the gate what they're getting. And don't take lowball offers. I kept getting $30, $35 offers for this shirt, and it finally sold for $70. So nice. I was happy to wait for the right buyer. And apparently eBay's going to tell me I'm outbid on that tiki mug the entire show. Okay. I love when I buy boxes of shoes from Shop Goodwill and other places that I don't know what I'm getting, because I had never heard of Globe shoes. Apparently there's some kind of skater shoe or some stuff. I'm 51. I don't have kids. Skater shoes are definitely not in my brain. So hello, Debbie. So but now I know. And they don't look like much. I mean, there's not really much to these. There's not a lot of style. It's just red and white. And I took a best offer of $60 on those.
Nice. Those look pretty rad, though.
And then I love using Trugether and Bonanza to sell. What they do is they just take your eBay listings and duplicate them. They kind of screw things up from time to time, but from time to time they do things right. Like, get this mug sold for me for $111. I bought this mug brand new from the website. It was sold for I think at the time $30.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, and I wasn't asking as much on eBay because it was on sale that week. So the person actually paid a little bit more because they bought it through Bonanza. Bonanza. There it is. I'm using 2 computers today. My brain is a little like, what's happening? What are we doing? And now it's time for our CD and cassette scores of the week. And as always, we start with flipping cassettes. Now, if you didn't know, this is Becky's favorite band, Grim Reaper. And this is her favorite album, Rock You to Hell.
That's not my favorite, but it'll do.
You don't have to know anything about music. If you see covers that look like this, you should stop, scan it, look it up, whether it's cassette, whether it's CD, whether it's record, because it's going to be metal, could be death metal, could be black metal, could be doom metal. They're all different. But you don't have to know it to sell it, because I know who Grim Reaper is. I have never heard Grim Reaper, and I still sold the cassette for $19, and I paid $1 for it.
Sweet.
Okay, so Record Store Day is twice a year, in April and on Black Friday. And limited edition records come out usually on like color vinyl, picture vinyl, swirl vinyl, booklets, different liner notes, different artwork, whatever. And I was in a record store for Record Store Day, and they said, hey, we got a lot of leftover Record Store Day stuff that we couldn't sell for the past years. Here's the $5 bin.
Wow.
So they've already told me they don't sell well, but for a new record at $5, you can almost get $20 for anything new on vinyl. And so I bought a ton of them, and this is my most recent sale. I took a best offer of $22, and I paid $5. Very easy to list, and don't have a ton into it, but I'll take brand new sealed vinyl for $5 any day.
For sure.
And now we go from flipping cassettes to flipping CDs. Okay, this is yours. I don't know why this sold for so much. Because is this out of print?
I don't know. I've had it, and I sold it. I took a best offer of $35. They sent me I think I sent an offer, and they countered, and I countered back, and they accepted my $35, because that's about the mid-range. That's about what it's selling for. I have no idea. I looked it up on Discogs. I looked everywhere to double check to make sure that I had the one that was selling at the most, and this was it. I have it's like the original or something. I have no idea, but I sent it out the door for $35.
Debbie wants to know how many types of metal there are. I mean, when you get into all the little ones, the little niches like doom metal, sludge metal, 50 maybe?
At least.
There's just so many.
And more we don't even know about. This is just mainstream metal.
Norwegian black metal is different than American black metal. All right. I wanted to share this one. I paid $30, sold it for $70, still decent profit. But I go to Amoeba Records all the time. This CD is always there. I always buy it. And this time it's sold in 2 days. Nice. So if you're not looking out for the Johnny Quest soundtrack from the old Hanna-Barbera cartoon, you're missing out, because I find it consistently make money on it. But that's not the best. Becky, how about one of the most popular, most sold albums of all time, Hotel California by the Eagles? On regular CD, be worth about a nickel. But on DVD audio, which is like a CD, but you have to play it on a DVD player, it sold for $75. I did pay $20 for it, but I do know most of my DVD audios will sell quite well. So I don't mind investing $20. So again, that's the kind of things I teach when I teach my classes, the different versions and different ways to listen to music. All right. Berlin.
Mm-hmm.
Take my breath away. Okay. This is an album no one knows. It's called Foreplay. No one knows. Okay. I didn't know this album. Never heard of it. But Amoeba Records was nice enough to tell me it was out of print. So I looked it up. And I was like, yep, here's my $25. And then I went home and sold it for $90.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of that one either.
Yeah. Yeah. So what you hope is a band that's popular has a CD or a record that didn't sell well. And that was 20 years later. And someone who gets into the band goes, well, I need them all. Mm-hmm. And so no, that one that didn't sell well, there's not that many copies out there. And then you get big money for it. But that's not the biggest, Becky.
Are you seriously?
How about the soundtrack to Better Off Dead?
Oh, that's my favorite movie.
John Cusack. Now, I did pay $60 for it, but I've sold this CD no less than 20 times. So I know it's always going to be in the $120 range. I got $124 for it. And funny enough, Terry Nunn, if you look right here, the lead singer of Berlin is on this CD too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm surprised you didn't pay $2 for it.
I know. I wish.
$2.
But that's like that Berlin one, never even seen the album before. But the Better Off Dead, as soon as I see it, I don't really got to look at the price because they never really priced it more than $60. I just grab it and throw it in my cart. I didn't look at it.
Oh,
just grab it and throw it in my cart.
I would die. I would absolutely die if I found one. Because then I'm like, do I keep it? Do I sell it?
It's been a while. Am I forgetting something?
Hey, wait! Hold up! Don't forget about me!
Whoops! Now it's time for Stacy's Budget Bin Scores. Okay, Stacy brings me this at Amoeba Records. We're there like 3 weeks ago. The Bohunks play the original Little Rascals music for $4, and she goes, "This is a winner." And I go, "What?" I go, "No way." She goes, "It is. Trust me." So she throws it in the cart. I list it. It sells 1 day later for $25.
What?
So good job, honey.
Nice.
She's at the grocery store, so she's not watching today. But we haven't had one that was specifically her find, but she made me buy this. And I'm like, no way is that a winner. And it sold so fast, my head spun.
I could see
that. You are watching. Hi, honey. Good job, baby.
Stacy.
Yeah, but they can't all be Stacy winners. And now it's time for our duds of the week. Do not let our mistakes be yours.
Wah, wah. I've had these listed forever. Four VHS of the original Star Wars. If somebody wants them for $10, send me an offer. I don't care. $9. I don't care. I want them out of my house.
Okay, here's what I would do. One thing I would do. Yes. Star Wars, awesome. Some people think Empire Strikes Back is one of the greatest movies of all time. I mean, I tend to agree, but I do love me some Ewoks. I love Return of the Jedi. Phantom Menace is not a great movie compared to the other three. So I would move Phantom Menace to the end of your title.
Okay, I'll rework it. I
would go Star Wars, Empire, Return of the Jedi, then Phantom Menace. You kind of lead with that, and people might stop reading.
Okay. I'll do it again. Oh, and if you want, I'll take $8 for this, even $7. If somebody wants a double-handled monkey
do I hear $6, ladies and gentlemen?
Yes, I'm like Bueller.
And Becky is BB Baxter, so come on over. All right, here's my duds for the week. I'm going to quiz you now because Becky knows music. Who's Dave Grohl?
Oh, from Foo Fighters and Nirvana.
And who's Mike Mills?
Oh, crap. It's not coming to me.
How about Thurston Moore?
I know the name. I'm not.
You failed. All right, so Mike Mills is from REM and Thurston Moore is from Sonic Youth. And then Don Was is a famous producer who had a band called Was Not Was, Walk the Dinosaur. So when you have a song that's just a variety of musicians put together for a movie soundtrack, there's a couple other guys on here who aren't famous. Profile all the famous people in the title. Now, it is in my duds. I only got $10. I only paid 75 cents. So I still made a profit, but I was hoping for more. And so, but make sure, little bonus tips tonight. Make sure you call out all the famous people on the song. And then speaking of, I'll take cheap money for it. I've had this in Living Color season 1 up for a Debbie 2.5 years.
Yeah.
So, you throw me a $10 offer and it's yours, please. That's Tiki Pug music. Come get it.
Yes. Nasty Frog vintage. I'm tired of looking at it too.
I am tired of looking at it, man. And now it's time for Where in the World Did Our Stuff Go? If you are not shipping internationally, you are leaving out 7.3 billion with a B potential customers. All right, Becky doesn't have any this week. I sold. Okay, this is why I love doing this segment, because you never know when a kick-ass country western cowboy sports coat needs to go to Erkrath, Germany, right outside Dusseldorf. So that's on its way to Germany. So there's some cowboy in Germany who needs this right now. Now, yes, go ahead, dear.
I have a question about that. So you sold it to Germany. Did you sign up for the whole stuff?
The whole new BS, yes.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about that.
Now, we have a follow-up. If you remember from, I think, last time for a follow-up, TikTok, from, I think, the last show, I showed this Australian Pink Floyd show t-shirt, which is a tribute band that does a laser show to Pink Floyd music. And it went back to Australia, right outside Adelaide. And guess what, Beck?
What
happened? Left me a negative.
No!
Too small was the negative. And I wrote the customer, and I said, A, return it. B, I don't understand how that could be your complaint. Says medium in the title, says medium the item specifics. Picture of the tag that says medium and the measurements in both inches and centimeters. But I know I'm covered because I did all that. I did my due diligence, and they got mad at me because it was too small. I go, I had the measurements. A shirt, especially a t-shirt. Sports coats could be a different thing. A t-shirt, just take your favorite t-shirt, measure the chest. If it ain't like this, then don't buy this.
Exactly. And that
So-
looked like a, yeah. That's
So I did a show on how to get rid of your negative feedbacks. Oops.
mhm.
I was supposed to have my eBay up there, but I will show you. I gave eBay a ringy dingy. I said, look, I got the size in 3 places. I got the picture of the tag. I got all the measurements. No more negative feedback.
Yay.
Bye negative feedback. See you later.
Oh, yay. Yeah,
But
that
it can be done. Just go back and watch my video. It shows you how to get it taken care of. Doesn't mean it'll definitely happen, but it could. Okay. So I've been pretty successful with that. So check it out if you get an unwarranted negative feedback. The one thing you don't want to do, stomp your feet and yell at people.
yes.
And now it's time for You Have Got to Be Shipping Me. What to do and what not to do when it comes to shipping.
Da, da, da. Speaking of yelling at people, I like to put personalized notes in all of my orders. So I get these boxes of, right now I've got pastels.
Nice.
I always do the matchy. So I take the color card with the color envelope and I write something personal on it. Like the Warhammer game, I wrote, it's like, I said something about playing Warhammer and I hope you have successful campaigns and, just letting them know that I care about what they bought and thanks for your business. And sometimes, especially at Christmas time, I go the extra mile and I wrap the thing in tissue paper just for a little extra personalizing. So, and I've got Christmas paper that when it's not too awful big, I will wrap the package inside. I will wrap the item and then put it in the box. So it's like they have a little Christmas present to open when they get their item. And I've gotten and it'll show in your feedback. I've gotten quite a lot of feedback that says, oh, the personal note was so nice and thank you. And having my own little present to open was so cute. And things like that. And that makes me feel like, I'm selling memories. And I think that brings customers back to look at my store to see what else I have as well. So
I love it. All right. Not a fancy graphic, but if you don't know, the holiday rates start October 2nd. But Pirate Ship is keeping majority of the priority rates down. So if you're not using Pirate Ship by now, you ain't never going to use it because you're not listening to us. We've been telling you forever, but they're not raising the price on the flat rate envelopes, the flat rate boxes, most regional rate boxes up to zone 6, and most priority mail cubic and weight-based shipments up to zone 6, up to 10 pounds. So it doesn't mean not, some things will go up along with the normal price increase, but they're going to try and keep it low for us. So when you ship, you should check eBay first and a quick check of Pirate Ship second, and wherever's cheapest, that's where you go.
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Linda. I think they like it too.
I want to open a present. And now it's time for the Thrifty Tips of the Week. Little tips and tricks to help you out when you're outsourcing.
Is this yours or mine? Oh, it's mine.
That's yours.
I think I've said this before, but don't ever be afraid to ask for discounts. Even on the first day, sometimes they will, sometimes they won't, especially if you're going to an estate sale. Like I'll go the second or third day, second day is usually 25 or 50% off. And there was one today that I went to and I said, I've got my eye on a couple other things, but they're still a little too high priced, even at 50% off. And she said to me, just wait a couple minutes. I'm going to shoo everybody out and then you can come back in and get it for 75% off.
Wow.
Yeah, but I wished I'd have waited to buy my purchase because then I could have gotten everything at 75% off. But I was already checking out. But you darn right, I went back in and got that old bossy milk jug and that Lance candy jar. So don't ever be afraid. The worst they can say is no.
All right. So when I got my Disney season pass back in August of last year, the Halloween stuff was out. And if you bought a bunch of stuff, you could get this bag for $25. And I looked online and that bag was selling for like $60, $75. And I'm like, I love it. So I bought it. and then I forgot to list it, and then I forgot to list it, and then I moved it from here to there, and then Halloween was over, and then I accidentally tore the tag off, and I'm like, I'm an idiot. So I finally got it listed August 23rd of this year.
Nice.
And it's sold. So 2 tips here. If you're seeing something cool that if you buy this much, you can get this at a discounted price. If you're going to spend that much anyway, get this, and you can turn for a little bit of profit. And if it's holiday specific, get your ass in gear and get it up. Don't be a Jason. Don't wait till August of the next year. So
yes, and if you have Hocus Pocus stuff, get it up this week because that movie drops on Disney Plus on Friday.
Yep.
So
Whoops.
I love that bag. I wished I'd bought it.
Come shopping, Tiki Pug Music. And now it's time for our online selling tips of the week. It doesn't matter if you're selling on Etsy, Depop, Mercari, Poshmark, or eBay. These are little tips and tricks to help you when you're selling.
I watched the Handling Time show, and you had mentioned instead of putting your store on time away, try changing your handling time. Well, that actually was very helpful. So I had gone up, my birthday was last Sunday, and I decided to spend it with my family in Indiana. So packed up Mr. Pappy and off we went. He's such a good travel cat. But I didn't want to put my store on time away. So instead of doing that, I changed the handling time to 10 business days. And I've sold half a dozen things while I was gone.
Nice.
And, they started asking on Monday, Tuesday, like, when is this going to be? So I would, they're like, when was this going to be sent? So I just let them know, I've been out of town. Thanks for your patience. And I'll get this sent out as soon as I get home. So, but don't forget to change it back to your regular handling time.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I just did before the show. Oops.
Oops, yes. All right. So Mercari hasn't done this in a while, but they've often done where they want to get people listing on Mercari that if you list 10 items, you can get a $5 coupon. If you list 15 items, you can get a $10 coupon. And if you list 30 plus items, you can get a $20 coupon. It is off of $50 or more. So you do got to find something worth $50. But if you get the $20 coupon, it's only going to cost you $30. And I usually buy something to reflip and sell anyway. So in the Secret Beach tomorrow, we're going to start a challenge. Who can get who can get 30 things listed first, and who's going to list the most things this week. If you're not selling on Mercari, you should be. It's like eBay Junior. It's easy to list and get some good sales on there. And they also tell you, here's what people are looking for right now. These are the categories that people are hunting the most for right now. So if you've got stuff in those categories, you want to start with these. Action figures, makeup, handbags, seasonal tops and blouses. Yep. Nice. Yep. So we all should be doing it. Get your butt over to Mercari today or tonight and get to listing. Whoop. And now it's time for Unseasonably Sold. What did you sell out of season?
Dun, da, da, da. Oh, look, Christmas ornaments, and it's not Christmas yet. I mean, this came in just under the wire for Unseasonably Sold, but people have been looking since probably July, but now it's really starting to amp up. And I found these at an estate sale for $20. Yeah, $15-$20, and I put them on auction. I started at $90.99 and got 2 or 3 bids on it, and they sold for $102. So,
damn, Janet jumped out already. 20 listed. Damn, I'm behind Janet. Okay, and Debbie's my producer, is behind the scenes. So the next Thrifty business will be in October. No more Christmas stuff because we're in the season now. So if you're going to do an out of season, it's really got to be out of season like this. How about the Nathan's famous international hot dog eating contest, which happens on July 4th? I just sold this briefcase backpack thingy, messenger bag today. So I call that out of season. I call that a holiday, the National Hot Dog Eating Contest.
Yes, I do too.
But I bought 3 of these, and they didn't sell for the longest time, and then all 3 of them finally sold. So it's one of those things, too, where you just kind of wait for the right buyer. Not everyone wants a Nathan's hot dog a championship from 2018 messenger bag. But somebody did. All you need is that one person to care.
Exactly. Now they've got a bag for all their hot dogs.
Exactly. All right, one more segment, and then we'll get our guest in here. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're angry, and sometimes they're just plain weird. Now it's time for the feedback of the week.
From the Warhammer game, very cool. Helps me complete a set. He was a really nice guy, and I think he has a little shop too, I think, and he sells other, Warhammer stuff and other, game campaign kind of stuff. So role-playing things. So I'm really glad I could help him complete a set. And then whatever else he does with that stuff is just gravy for him. So it gets it out of my house, gets me a little bit of profit and some gas money. And, and I love that, the good feedback.
I love it. Now, I was thinking about using my negative feedback because it went away, poof. But I like this one way better. Top copy, well packed, and this is a record. So when you get glowing feedback on a record, you've really done a good job. And swiftly sent, buy from the USA as ever with confidence. Great seller.
Yay.
So yay. So as you can see, I forget if this went to the UK or somewhere else in Britain, but it got sold Great British pounds. So that means it was on one of my foreign eBay sites. But yeah, when a vinyl record shows up halfway around the world and the customer is this happy, you've done a good job in packing.
Yes. I love it.
All right, little housekeeping for those of you. Oh, a little housekeeping for Becky first. Sassy Frog Vintage, BB Baxter. And if you want, especially her duds, come get them.
Yeah. Just please. Somebody wants a monkey mug.
You know you do.
I'll even crochet you a sock monkey coffee cozy. Because I know how to do that.
All right, if you're in the Secret Beach and you haven't watched What's Hot this Halloween, do it. Annette watched it in the Secret Beach, went out and found the things I just taught about, and is already selling some of the stuff. So I was not that I wouldn't think it, but I was right on the money with what's happening, what's hot, and what's out there to be found. So Secret Beachcombers, make sure to go back and watch that. And this is the first time that the planets had aligned. Mom and I vended at tiki events on the same day on opposite sides of the country. I was in Phoenix and Mom and Dad were in Cleveland. And so there on the left is Dad setting up dresses. On the right is my cute assistant setting up the tiki mugs on the table. So next week, we're going to talk about vending. We're going to talk about setting up, how to make your booth look good, how to look better than the other people's booths. And Mom and I decided not to share with each other who did better. We're going to text each other our totals while we're live and see who won.
Nice.
Because it's never happened where we vended on the same day. But I do know that my event ended up being about 100 degrees, and her event when she was setting up outside was 41 degrees.
Wow.
So we'll both have stories of extreme weather for dealing with something in the end of September here. But yeah, I know we both did good. So a lot of customers, and all four of us, Mom, Dad, me, and Stacy, our bodies hated us by the end of the day. Standing on cement, putting it together, breaking it down, driving it home. Yeah, so I am just recovering. But yeah, tune in next Sunday, 7 o'clock East Coast, 4 o'clock on the West Coast. Let's get our guest in here. And now it's time for the Thrifty Business special guest of the week. Hey, everybody, it's Elizabeth, and we're talking about thrilling. Yay! What's happening, Elizabeth? How's that wine?
Oh, it's fabulous.
Nice. Yeah, set you in the big sky here. All right, so I want to go back to your regular day job before we get into the reselling job.
Okay.
Is that something you wanted to do when you were a kid? Like, how does one get to that point?
I'll give you the too long didn't read version. I originally went to culinary school, worked doing that for a little bit until I realized I don't want to be like 55, 60, still making just above minimum wage, breaking my body. So I went back to school for what I was doing now because I'm like, well, hey, I know the cooking part, the nutrition part would be really cool. So yeah, I graduated that program, Tri-C, 2008.
Nice.
Yeah.
I went to Lakeland and I didn't finish.
Hey, that's okay. Oh, Linda, I'm cheating. It's Bay Bridge box wine. I don't care.
Bay Bridge.
There's nothing wrong with box wine. If it's
And so how long you been doing this day job?
Since 2008, since I graduated. So
All right.
what, 14 years now.
nice.
I take it it's something you like.
I do. I really feel, especially with what I'm doing at the Naval Hospital, I really feel like I'm making an impact on people's lives and helping to change their lives. Because I basically wrote our program for our bariatric weight loss surgery that's designed to help people lose their pre-surgery weight and then help them maintain their weight after surgery. And just the feedback that I get from the people who actually take in what I'm talking about, it's just, it feels very rewarding, and especially for active duty service members too, because it's them and their families.
Nice.
Good job. I mean, I'm just like, I got to do something more with my life. I feel now. Like, sheesh. All right. So you've liked what you've been doing since 2008. When did reselling come into the picture?
Around 2016, I started taking up ballroom dancing as a hobby, which is not a cheap hobby. It was a way to help me afford some of the local events, and then just California cost of living. It helps keep me living comfortable and not suffering.
Yeah, and I lived in Southern California, so I fully understand that to the T.
Oh yeah.
Is Thrilling available in Canada? Do you know by any chance?
So I know they offer international shipping. I don't think they have a separate site for Canada. If you're interested in selling, you can just reach out to their customer service. And they do offer ship international. Just message customer service to get the price quote for that.
And whatever you do not go to thrilling.com. Go to shopthrilling.com. All right. So obviously you didn't start on Thrilling because they're relatively new. Did you start on eBay like majority of us do?
Yeah, started on eBay first. I'm coming up on my 1-year anniversary on Thrilling.
Woohoo! Now, how did you find the site? Was someone else you knew selling on it? Did it show up in your feed on Facebook? What? Because I knew of it, but until you were on, I didn't start looking at it.
Yeah, it popped up as an advertisement in my Facebook feed, and I applied to sell, and I got approved pretty quickly, like within a week. Got onboarded, and fast forward to almost a year.
Nice.
It's so funny. We had a pair of jeans at the Tiki event, and you might say, jeans at a Tiki event? Yeah, they were vintage Levi's, and they looked very like Tappa cloth, and everyone loved them. The problem is they're a 26-inch waist.
Wow.
And so I thought, oh, maybe I should try and start on Thrilling, sell on Thrilling, because that'd be a cool thing to put up as my first piece, these really vintage Levi's. All right, so tell us about Thrilling. What's it like to sell in there compared to eBay or someplace else? How are the fees? Is it easy to list? Is it a pain in the ass to list?
All right, so listing wise, it's a lot easier than eBay. You basically upload your photos and you can get a listing up in about 2-3 minutes tops, because I usually list it on eBay first. Then I just copy and paste my entire description and my title. Boom, hit list. Fee wise, it started off as a 10% fee, but they did recently just increase it. So it's, hold on, I get 87.5%. So that's what? That's 12.5%.
Yeah. That
they take, which is still not bad. Yeah, so listing is pretty easy. The worst part, so you've got a couple of options when you're onboarded. You can either have your rep upload all of your current listings from Etsy if you have an Etsy shop, or if you have a CSV. So like if you use like InkFrog and you have a CSV, you email it, they upload it for you, or you can upload it yourself. I chose to do it myself because I didn't have a CSV from eBay. So it took me a hot minute, but I managed to plow through and cross-list everything I had up already. And after that, I just continue to upload myself because I'm already doing the work, and it's an extra 2 minutes just to upload my photos, copy and paste, and hit publish.
Mhm.
And it is just clothing, right?
Clothing, accessories, and then they recently started branching out into vintage home goods.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool.
Yeah, they're still testing the market on it. They decided to extend it through the holidays. And I did confirm, I was like, hey, I've got a bunch of vintage Christmas like buyers, carolers, stockings, etc. I'm like, can I throw that up there? They're like, yes, go ahead. You just can't categorize it just yet.
Cool.
So I got to work on cross-listing my vintage Christmas decor.
Nice. Well, I'm glad I'm talking with someone who sells on Thrilling, because I usually do a monthly vintage pop-up, and I'm recalling now there was someone from Shop Thrilling there, and she gave me her card, and we got in touch on Instagram, but I never did anything with it because I just wasn't familiar with the company, and plus squirrel. So
Squirrel, I know the squirrel.
So I got to imagine they do the background removal since every listing has it gone.
Yes, they actually did a deal with Photo Room. So they bought the technology from Photo Room, and they background removed the front and the back photo.
Okay.
Yeah.
very cool.
Yes, Linda, you can sell handbags, belts, shoes, jewelry. Basically right now, anything clothing and home decor. So yeah. They even added vintage kids clothes too.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
So men's, women's, and then the accessories and home goods now.
Yes, and they do allow some modern, but it's got to be what they consider luxury. So a couple of examples: Gucci, Versace, Jill Sander, just to name a few off the top of my head from the list.
Gotcha. So if it's more high end, then you could probably get by with it. Okay.
Yeah.
That is good to know.
Yeah, it was actually kind of nice when I first started cross-listing. There was stuff that had been sitting on eBay for like over a year, and it like sold within a week. I'm like, heck yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, this is definitely motivating because I've got vintage clothing. I've got this beautiful like teddy and chiffon robe from the 60s that I still have. It's like a baby doll sort of thing. And I'm like, how is this not sold yet? It's gorgeous. So this sounds like it's the perfect website for me to put my vintage stuff that hasn't sold on yet.
Probably. And movies will actually reach out to their studio services, because I know Tina mentioned that they have their studio services. TV shows, movies will contact them. They send out emails letting all of us who have shops know, okay, this is what they're looking for. This is the colors. This is the sizes that they're looking for. So an example, some of the past projects, they were looking for The Voice, Atlanta season 4, that 90s show, Yellowstone season 5. Yeah, and they even asked, like, check your piles, check your unlisted stuff. Let us know.
Yeah.
That's so cool and so unique that they specialize in, like, hey, come here. We got the seller, we got the stuff for you. That's pretty neat.
Mm-hmm.
That's very cool.
Poop only in the States, Lisa says.
Aww.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lisa.
So when you sign up on Thrilling to sell, do you actually have like a store, or is it just individual listings?
No, I actually have what they call like a storefront. So all of my listings are listed under my boutique is what they refer it to. So yeah, everything's underneath my store name. When you're searching the site, it tells you who the store owner is. There I am in my vintage 60s, 70s dress that I decided to keep for myself. When I decide to sell it, I'll probably get a nice penny for it.
Very cool. So is there a monthly fee? Like I know on eBay, I pay a monthly fee for my store. do they charge you a monthly fee or anything like that, or is it just the percentage of from whatever you sell?
As of today, this recording date, no listing fees. They just charge you a flat rate after it sells.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
You got some good looking stuff here in your store.
Wow, you got good stuff.
So much of that I find at the bins. I actually found a Victorian era, authentic Victorian era bodice that was pretty it had a lot of damage, but it's over 100 years old. I didn't sell it on Thrilling, but I did sell it on eBay for like $100, and I got it at the bins for like $2.
I love the bins. I'm telling you, they are so much fun.
Yes.
Take a pair of gloves though. That's for damn sure.
I don't. Okay, I know this is a divisive topic. I don't do gloves at the bins.
Cool.
Because I want to feel cashmere. I want to feel wool. I want to feel silk. So when I'm digging, I'm like power digging. I'm like, oh, this feels nice, and I grab it.
Yeah,
go ahead, Jay.
I'll say I also don't do gloves, but when we were filming Thrift Hunters, we filmed at a Goodwill, and they said to us while filming, we have a bins next door, and we didn't, and it was kind of hidden. So we're like, yeah, let's go film there. And I said, you got any CDs? And the dude wheeled out a full Gaylord of CDs.
Wow.
So they just set up the camera and did a time lapse with me just going through them. And what freaked me out a little bit as I got to the bottom, before the CDs were put in, someone was just throwing like glass in there and shattering it. The whole bottom was just mountains of broken glass, and then all these CDs packed on top. And I'm like, yeah, you might want to clean this out before you give it to the next person who's filming live a TV show.
Yeah.
Oh, Debbie, yes, they do pin all of my listings to Pinterest for me.
Oh, wow.
Ooh. That's interesting.
We need a picture of your face when you heard that, Becky. You're like, what?
It's almost like you told me we were getting capes.
One con to Thrilling is you can't see what others sold items for, right? So you can't look up comps within Thrilling itself. But a workaround, since they pin everybody's stuff, so if you're looking for a Jessica McClintock dress, go to Google, go to images, Jessica McClintock dress, Thrilling, right? And look for sold listings, because then it'll display what they sold it for.
Ooh.
Yeah, that 30s, 40s blouse I got at the bins too.
You got some cute
there
stuff.
it is. Like,
And I got the necklace at the bins.
I love that. That's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
I wish stuff like that would fit me, but then I'm like, no, I'd be even more poor than I already am. So I'm glad it doesn't.
So besides not seeing sold, is there any other big negative that you're like, oh, Thrilling, come on now?
At this time, no. I mean, they're still a relatively young company. They were founded in 2018. So as with any new company, they're going to have their hiccups. They're going to have their glitches. I know my sales over the summer for Thrilling slowed down a bit, but, I've got eBay. So I was, my summer slowdown for me, how I've been trending with my sales, I still did pretty well throughout the summer. So I'm not going to stress about it.
Cool.
I did manage to sell a Jessica McClintock dress within like 5 days of listing it last week. So that was pretty sweet.
Nice. Was it a gunny sack?
No, it was actually late 90s, 2000s. Do you remember the mock tube corset 2 pieces?
Oh, yes. Yes, I do.
Yeah, $75.
Nice. Very cool. I have a vintage Jessica McClintock gunny sacks dress, but it's child size. So that would be a pretty good place to get that listed.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and depending on what size kids, though, because see, if it's like a teen, it might fit some extra small women.
I think it's a little bit smaller than a teen. I'm thinking probably like tween, like at like a 10 or 11-year-old, size 7. It's kid size for sure.
So yes, you are missing the ultimate word in your title here. Tiki.
Oh, I'll have to fix that if I
Because when I
have.
went and searched Tiki mugs, Lisa and I are the same thought. Like, wait, why aren't we seeing Elizabeth's Tiki mugs? No Tiki in the title. Yes,
Yeah.
they are bucket mugs, but at the root of it, they are still Tiki mugs. Yeah, so that's a good question. Can you tell us how shipping works?
That's my next question. Yes.
Okay. So shipping, which they're in the process of changing how they go about shipping. So right now, the two services they offer, so the buyer pays shipping, and they're moving to a couple different shipping tiers depending on weight. So they utilize either United States Postal Office or UPS. And the way it works now is you input the weight of your item when you list it. And then when your item sells, they email you a shipping label and a packing slip. So literally you just print it out, slap it on, and pop it in the mail.
Nice.
Now coming up, we will have our own portal to where we can print labels on demand. Because sometimes one thing, like let's say the customer service support didn't give you the right weight, like your item's 2 pounds, but they only sent you a 1 pound label. You would have to reply like, hey, I need a 2 pound label. And sometimes you get a response right away. Sometimes maybe it's a few hours. So that'll be nice when that new portal opens up and we can just print on demand and have the shipping correct and just take care of it right away.
Sounds easy enough. So it kind of works like Poshmark-ish.
Yeah,
Shipping
Poshmark-ish. Like we don't pay anything out of our own pockets. They collect it. They deal with it.
Okay.
All right. So really quick, Jenny, I have 2 bins by me. I've got one in Escondido and I've got one in San Ysidro. I prefer the San Ysidro one. I found better stuff, less pushy people. Let's see, April. So they don't have an official app. They have a website, which you can do it on a computer or on your phone. It's really simple. If Jason's okay, I can do a quick screen share and show you what the process looks like.
Sure. Yeah, heck yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Let me go edit my Tiki mug and put Tiki in the title.
There we go.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, Linda. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you really quick while I'm loading this up. So the Escondido, the younger Gen Z resellers would get there 3 hours before opening, put their water bottles on the ground to hold their spot, and then yell at you if you try to get in line. That is why
I would like to see them try and do that to me.
Yeah, I would too. Let's go. You go with your trollness. I'll go with my troll hair, and we'll see if he tells us we can't stand right
I will see how far I can kick some water bottles.
All right. Okay. Can everybody see?
All right. So me.
There we go. All right. So this is my listing portal. All right. So I'm just going to go and edit. So you upload your photos. You type in the brand. You classify it. You state the condition, the weight, package weight. Okay. Here's my title. Oh, okay. I got room. You only have 50 characters for your title.
Ooh, back to being thin on our titles.
Oh, yeah. So how you see the 60s, 70s, that is not included. So when you click the decade, it just puts it in front of it for you. So when you go to the eras. Yeah,
so those are free?
Yeah. It's just a bunch of clicks.
Okay.
And done. And that's it. Yeah. Easy peasy.
Yeah, it looks pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with eBay, I equate eBay to an old casino. When I've picked liquidation sales of old casinos, those that were around for a long time, they start in this little building, and then they built this tower, and then this tower, and this showroom, and so it was like this just crazy maze of it wasn't planned out. eBay is that way nowadays. They started way back when, and so we still have these residual effects of just crap, really. But new websites are very just slimline, fill in the blank, move on down. And like that's why we're going to do Macari and the Secret Beach. It's pretty easy and quick to list. So let's see how many we all can get up this week. Let's knock out. Let's all add 50 items to our listings this week because it takes way less time than eBay. eBay gets more customers, so it's choose your poison.
Exactly. I'll always have eBay, but I like having those different towers to build from. It's kind of like my own little hamster thing.
So I noticed one of the big things on the main page is featured collection staff picks. Do you get a notice like, hey, Joe picked your item?
They don't, but one time, so I try to I'm not very good at being active on Instagram, but they did tag me one time that they picked one of my dresses on Instagram because they made a story about it. You might actually be able to find it. It's a cherry print rockabilly dress. It should be on the first page.
Ew.
They picked it again for the staff picks. So they did tag me on Instagram in their stories.
Yeah, it's funny. It's so funny. I got yelled at yesterday for not utilizing Instagram more by just one of my customers in my booth. He goes, "You have such cool stuff that could easily sell on Instagram." And then Stacy goes, "Yeah, be on Instagram." I'm like, "Yeah, honey. Oh, there we go. That is the bikini I've been looking for." Oh my. I think I saw the same bikini on thrilling.com too.
I could probably crochet one of those too.
Wow. Obviously you can't swim in this. I mean, what in the heck?
So Linda, when you're listing, so it'll ask you like, what is the fabric content? It'll ask you what is the size, what category. That's the extent of it. It's pretty bare bones at the moment. So you really got to rely on your title, trying to gather what they're looking for so they can pull it up in the search. Oh, there it is, right there.
Which one?
The halter one.
There it is.
I'm tapping the
Super cute.
Yeah, it's right here. It's right here. How many pictures do you get, Elizabeth?
I've uploaded up to 16. I don't know what the limit is yet. So you do get more than 12. So that is nice because sometimes, things have flaws and you need to show them all and not try to cram it into a little grid.
Oh gosh, yeah. Yeah, I like that Poshmark is up to 16. Now eBay's going up to 24. And it's nice to know that Thrilling has at least 16 as well because you want to see it from every angle. And especially if there's multiple flaws.
Yeah, because so within the past 2 weeks, I found listed and sold a vintage Sue Wong dress, white satin, totally bridal. But it has mild to moderate missing beading and a few stains. And I had to get creative with a grid because I was limited to 12 photos on eBay. But thankfully, my feedback speaks for itself. So
hooray.
Yeah. People try to lowball me as soon as I listed that thing. Oh, will you take this? Will you take that? I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I just listed this and it sold for my full price, even in that condition, $100.
This Sue Wang dress?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, there's just some stuff you don't budge on, and that's one of them. Especially when you know what you have,
Oh, exactly. Well, I've already gotten 2 lowball messages on a vintage sheer toddler dress I just listed on eBay. It's only been up for a full day. So it'll be gone within the week.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I got a lowball offer on a Christmas ornament that I have, and they sent a message, they were like, because they sent me an offer for $20, and they were like, I countered at a higher price, closer to what I have it listed for. And they were like, well, there's a lot on eBay and the box is a little bit worn. I'm like, well then, okay, go buy another one on eBay then. I mean, and there's just the box is actually pretty fine. It's not nearly as worn as, they think it is. I don't know why people think that's going to make us sell it to them.
Yeah, I don't know. Linda, no videos at this time. So Becky, one time I had this sweater, right? I already sweater shaved it, and it had a decent amount of pilling, but the brand was still desirable, right? But I did price it for the condition. And I was running a sale, and I had somebody message me like, "Oh, the pilling is a really great concern. Will you take $20?" So I took a breath, took a moment, and I got creative. I was like, "Oh, well, if the pilling is of that great of a concern to you, maybe this isn't the item for you."
Oh, yes.
And
Oh, that's
she
really
with
good.
touche.
That's good because my go-to answer is okay. So, because I might have to take a few breaths.
So you mentioned your feedback speaks volumes for you. Is there feedback on here? Because I can't find any.
Not on Thrilling, my eBay feedback.
Okay, so you have no clue how that seller does because there's no way to gauge.
Well, actually, if you scroll down on this page just a smidge and hit show more. So people who have sold a certain amount within a quarter and have, no complaints or anything like that, say that they get, it's sold from an excellent, highly rated vintage boutique.
Got it.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess no, Tom, since it's just fill in the blanks.
Like the shipping labels come from Shopify.
And no video options as of this point?
No video options. Okay. But I mean, so they encourage you to try to be active on social media. So you can post like a video, put it on Instagram, tag them. They'll repost it to their stories. You can even put a link. They'll put a link to your item in their stories. I need to try to be more active on Instagram. If any of you are Instagram savvy, you want to check out my Instagram and give me feedback, aside from posting more frequently, please. Help me out.
I totally understand that. I feel at this point I need to clone myself so I can do all of the things I'm supposed to make my side hustle work.
Please tell me you bought this.
It was $250. No, $450.
Wow.
Joe, so people can message support asking if the shop owner will take less, but there's no direct offer feature.
And you have to, you apply to sell, but it's not automatic. They got to let you sell, right?
Correct. So a few things they look at on the platforms that you're on. They look at your feedback. They look at how many items that you have for sale. So if you only have like 20 vintage items, they'll probably pass on you at that time. But if you've got like hundreds, thousands, you've got good feedback, they basically want to make sure that they're onboarding somebody who's going to support their brand, provide a good service.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. And they make it easy for you to sell. Ooh, jelly shoes.
Yeah, very easy. I sold those jelly shoes for like $40 to $45 a pair.
Seriously? Oh my gosh.
Yes. And those are authentic 80s, 90s jelly shoes.
Yeah. I may or may not have had all of those pairs.
I definitely did not have any of those.
Yeah.
I sold that belt for $9.
How much?
$90.
Wow. Awesome.
That was a fabulous belt.
That is fabulous. It would make a really good necklace for me. Oh my God. Or a headband.
Oh goodness. Oh, the one thing I love about vintage is, something's lived a previous life. It's usually better quality. And everything comes back around, right? Mm-hmm. That's the great thing. Everything comes back around because you can only repeat and come up with something new every so often. Unfortunately, Y2K is back, low-rise jeans. I will pass on those. But everything keeps coming back around, so just give it time. It'll be hot. It'll be cool again. I know there is one YouTuber I watch because she talks about the upcoming runway trends. And she's usually on point, right? You see it filtering through like Torrid, American Eagle, etc. I stopped chasing those, but what I will do is if they're in my pile, I pull those first and get those listed as a priority. Because I found that I wound up with stuff that just keeps sitting because it was trendy, and thrift sourcing is more fun than listing.
Yes.
Sometimes. So yeah. But yeah, everything comes back around. That's the great thing about, especially with vintage.
Yeah, the wolf, they call it the wolf haircut, was the shag in the 70s. It was the Rachel in the 90s.
Oh.
You know, it's
the Becky in 2022.
It is. This is timeless. Everyone should have it. In fact, everyone wakes up with this every morning. I choose to wake up like this and keep it.
Elizabeth, do you think you're getting more on Thrilling for your vintage pieces than you would have on eBay?
So it's kind of yes and no. Only because on Thrilling, depending on the item, you can get more. Why? Because this is tailored only to vintage. So you've got a customer who wears vintage. They understand that it may have minor signs of wear. It may have minor flaws. They're not going to nitpick over it. And they know the value of what they're getting. Now, I mentioned that I cross-list everything on eBay. I actually listed at the same price on eBay and Thrilling. And I still get pretty close to my Thrilling price on eBay recently. So it's like the old motto, not asking ain't getting.
That's true.
Don't be afraid to price it a little bit higher, because you can always come down. If you have a gut feeling about something, price it a little bit higher. Because there are some things that I picked up, I'm like, okay, this brand sucks, but this is really cool. And it sounds.
But
yeah.
I lost my thought. Getting old sucks sometimes. Anyway. All right. So we got a couple scores and duds to share, but before that, we always ask for a little nugget of fun, and sometimes we get to them and sometimes we don't from our guests. But I definitely want to get to yours, because you and I have had some same experiences. So you've been on Let's Make a Deal, I see.
Yes.
And did you win the big prize?
I did. I won the big deal of the day. And they had like this special thing where I could go for like a bigger prize that week. I passed on that because if I didn't get it right, I lost everything. I actually won a car.
Yay!
Now, what kind of car was it?
It was a Volkswagen Tiguan.
Nice.
And did you actually take it, or did you take the cash equivalent?
Let's Make a Deal does not let you take cash equivalent.
Ah.
My free car wound up costing about 10 grand between sales tax, federal tax, and state taxes.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Only thing free in life is herpes and a hard time.
This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was on 4 game shows, and luckily, I only won cash, so I only really had to pay the tax on the cash, and I was good. But was that your only game show?
That was my only game show, my first game show.
Man, you got to retire at that point. You won a car.
Well, hey, enough time has passed. I can go on another game show now.
I've never been on a game show.
Backing up a smidge, I said I got these awesome vintage Levi's, but the problem is they're waist 26. And while we're talking, I'm like, wait a minute, I have a young female assistant. Hey, what's your waist size? 26. I'm like, yes, she's gonna model them for me now. Because those jeans, they're so cool, but they'll definitely look better on someone standing by a pool. Definitely gonna go that route with those. And how long ago was it go back to the car? How long ago was it that you won the car?
I want to say it was like 2017.
Okay. Do you still have the car? Or
so I sold the car to help, pay some of the stuff, but I was able to take 10 grand, put it down on a newer used car. I only had like $180 car payment, so that was fabulous.
Nice.
Awesome.
Right.
Very cool.
Ooh, yeah. And the one thing, like if any of you are thinking about going on a game show, what the producers are looking for, they're looking for authentic enthusiasm, right? That's what they're looking for. And they flat out told us in the audience, like, if we pick you and during a commercial break, we see you sitting there and you got a frumpy face and you're not participating, we will pick somebody else. So they want to see your personality. They want you to be authentic. So just go for it.
That makes sense. I mean, you're on the show with Wayne Brady. I mean, you have to. It's just, oh my God, he's so cute. I love him so much. He's what?
He's so tall.
Is he?
Oh, I think he's at least around 6 foot.
Wow.
Oh.
That makes me so happy right now.
Now, when you're on not Let's Make a Deal game shows, the one thing you got to have going for you, besides having a personality, is good trivia knowledge. Because the 4 I ended up on 4 because of the first one. The producers would leave that show and go other places, and they would just call me. Hey, I'm doing this show now. You want to? Because they knew I was a good contestant.
Mm-hmm.
They knew I had a personality, and they knew I knew a lot of stuff, and I could possibly win. And so they just kept calling me. Every 6 months I get a call. Want to do this game show? Sure. I ain't got to try out or nothing. I just show up and play, and I won $60,000 on one, and $3,000 on another, and $2,000 on another. So
Nice.
I was like, I should have kept doing that.
Yeah, you want me on your trivia. You want me on your team if we're playing pop culture trivia. That's for sure.
Oh, all the useless knowledge in my brain. I'm surprised I retain anything useful.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Same here.
And then we'll get to your duds and scores, but Debbie wants to make sure we hit the last note on your stuff. What's the coolest thing you've ever sold?
So I found a Disneyland cast member jacket at the bins. I got it for like $2. I paid $10 to get it dry cleaned because it was pretty skanky, right? And I actually sold it for $750.
That is awesome. Wait,
yeah.
wait.
Congratulations. Great job, yeah.
I didn't touch that money for 30 days. That money sat there uncleaned. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do your duds and scores, and then we will all get out of here so I can get back to my couch.
Right.
All right. Why is this adorableness a dud?
Because of how long it was listed. It took forever to sell. I'd had it up for like 2.5 years, 3 years.
Oh my!
No, I take that back. I got it at the Escondido bins pre-COVID.
And whoops, wrong button. Come on, you can do it. You bought a lot of these, huh?
I only bought 6, thankfully. I only paid 50 cents a piece for them. I think I'm probably going to end the listing and redo it and lot the last 5 together, and hope that they sell a lot quicker just so they can just go away.
Yeah, you should put like ephemera or junk journal if you can fit it in there somewhere, like shorten vintage and put ephemera in there, because those are super cute, and people who make junk journals and do scrapbooking are looking for vintage Halloween stuff like that.
Right. And that's what I thought. I'm like the vintage black cat on the pumpkin. People love that.
Yeah, put ephemera, fit junk journal in there. I think they'll sell like that.
All right.
There you go. All right, let's do your scores. Is this just a flag? Is that it? Oh, a tea towel. Holy crap. I'm guessing you sold this when she died.
Yes. Fun, quick story. I sourced it in Cleveland at a thrift store 3 years ago. And I thought to myself, I'm like, she's up there in age. I'm going to hold on to these until she passes. So the day she died, I came home, got home from work, quickly listed them overnight. That sold for full price, $40.
Nice.
My mom was funny. She's like, aren't you a little late to the game for getting that list? I was like, nope. The next morning, she's like, you sold that? I'm like, yep.
Oh, that's cute. I love it.
Where'd you find this?
A local thrift store, and I got it for $2.
Sweet.
Nice.
Yes.
Some of it feels really good, and some of it is like, nope.
Right. And that's actually in excellent condition. There's like virtually no paint loss. So that's why if you go and look at solds for this, stick with me, get that price. I got it. You can get it too. If it's in that great of a condition, it's sold in 2 weeks.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah, it looks almost brand new. Like they just made it.
Yeah.
That's
And
fantastic.
John, who is late. John, why are you late? Just kidding. Wanted to know what your store was on Thrilling. So where is it?
Oh, yes. I have the same name across all of my platforms just to keep it simple.
Oh, there it is. Fabulous Finds, $6.19. Now, John, you were late, so if you go to thrilling.com, you will not find this. Just be forewarned. Go to shopthrilling.com.
Unless you want porn,
Yeah,
then that's your prerogative.
but please tell me you to find this at the bins.
No, I picked that up in Cleveland as well too when I got the tea towels.
Very cool.
You remember what you paid for it?
So I actually got very lucky. It was supposed to be $20 and they only charged me $2 for it.
Sweet.
Were you hanging out with my mother by any chance?
Don't get me wrong, right? When it comes to somebody's drawer, I will not mess with somebody's drawer coming up wrong because they're responsible for that. But if you ring me up for the wrong price, I ain't saying nothing.
Nope.
Hell no.
Sorry about it.
Jason, do you remember Mark's, how they used to do it all by hand and they had like the physical price tags?
Oh, yeah.
Didn't have a price on it? Well, I don't know. How much do you think? How about $2.99? Okay.
Hell yeah.
Oh.
Oh, and this is just simply gorgeous too.
Wow.
Oh, yes. So I got that at oh gosh, what is the name of it? Oh, okay, a local thrift store because the name has just left my mind. So on Fridays they have 75% off the color tags of the day. This was still on the rack. So dresses full price are $7.99. So I got this for $2.
Nice.
Old stock.
Yep, I saw the tags on it still.
Right? Because somebody asked about getting higher prices. I can't remember if it was Linda or Debbie. This, I definitely got a higher price than I would have on eBay.
Mm-hmm. That's gorgeous.
That's awesome. All right. Well, I know I am definitely dipping my toe in because, this house is full of vintage clothing. And now they're adding a little bit of home goods too. And obviously I got a shit ton of vintage tiki mugs. So we'll give it a try. I always like new platforms, see what sells. Elizabeth, thanks. You're awesome. This was probably one of the funnest shows I've done in a while. And no disrespect to anybody else, but I am so jazzed about trying this out now. I'm just like, yay.
Hey, that's awesome. Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I had totally forgotten about Thrilling because I had heard about it and then went away. So thanks for being the guest tonight because I learned a whole lot.
No worries. Thanks for having me on.
And thanks for everyone tuning in. Don't forget, next week, Mom and I will be the dueling tiki event. Who did better, and who had to deal with crappier weather, and how did our setups go, and who merchandised the best. I think I know who the winner's gonna be.
Mm-hmm.
Are you gonna have dueling banjos play?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Sure do have a party mouth.
Well, we are from the country of Cleveland, so yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you, Becky. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a wonderful night. Give us a thumbs up. Click on that button to follow us, and we will see you next Sunday. Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.